Hello, we're back. I just wanted to do a bit of a video on what we do on the farm, what we grow, and have a look around the crops. My dad's got some spraying done last week while I've been away, so I'll be able to see what he's done with that and how it has affected the crops and what we've been spraying for. So first, I'm just walking through some of the winter wheat we've got that, to be honest, considering last year, which would probably be the worst year I've known in farming, weather-wise, it looks pretty fantastic. Fern and rust think so too. So we're walking down now. He sprayed this last week for broadleaf weeds because there was some cleavers starting to come in it, and a few other bits, some mayflower, and there's some ryegrass in it. So I think this week we're going to get out and get it rogued, try and get rid of that, because other than that it is looking super clean. We did do a T1 spray on it, which has made a great job with a fungicide. So yeah, I think, to be honest, this is probably his best looking winter crop, even though rust is flattening it. So we'll keep walking. There's another field at the end of this one. This is what we call back of the farm. We'll have a look in there where we've got some more graham growing, and that has been sprayed as well. And I think there's some worse patches in there for the cleavers, so should be able to actually see the chemical working back now. This is a bit of footage of my dad actually spraying this field when he did it last week. It is on his phone. There is a potato, and he has filmed it the wrong way around, so come on, next time horizontal. But this is him doing it. You see what rate he's putting it on at and how it's working, and it looks like making a great job. Just there you can see this is the ryegrass that is coming to head now. We need to get this road before them seeds start dropping out and making it twice as bad for next year. It's quite bad in the tram lines, which tends to be when the tram lines are wetter. As the tractor runs through it, the water on the leaves actually stops the chemical from going up on it, so it does tend to be stronger, does the grass, in the tram lines. And it has been sprayed for the grass weeds, but it's just getting more and more resistant to the chemicals, so it's making it harder and harder. You can just see over there, I think it's a different colour, and that is the ryegrass in it, which, like I say, we'll have to get it all rogued, because if it goes to seed and drops the seeds, it's going to be a hell of a mess next year. So we'll get that done. This field I'm going into now is what we call a pylon field, if you can guess why. As you can see, ryegrass, since I walked it the week before last, has got even worse. It's not quite as nice land, so I don't think it's competed with the ryegrass as well. You can see here actually that this is broadleaf weeds that we were spraying, and it's actually starting to curl up and die, just like that one. At least that chemical is working. It's just the grass, it's absolute nightmare. I don't really know what the answer is to it. These are just starting to curl up as well. Fern's going to flatten them all for us as well. You can see actually where the variety changes there. That's where he ran out of seed and he just finished the last bit off. So that is graham again. So we'll walk over. There are a bad patch of cleavers just over there, so I'm going to walk over and see how it's done that. To be honest, this ryegrass is getting on for being too bad, too rogue. It is pretty thick, but we'll do what we can. We made a bit of a weed wiper, or we tried to last year. Maybe try and make a bit of a better one this year and try and get all this done, because it is a lot taller than the wheat, so I think that'd be a good way to do it. Just have a walk through with that, put knapsack on and get it sprayed like that. can actually see in here, in a few places, there's some leaves that are really yellowy in odd patches and look a bit damaged and weaker, like the full plant from the bottom up, all of the tillers. And I think it's BYDV that's actually in it. I'm not 100% sure on that. There's nothing we can do about it anyway. It is just really small patches of it, so it's not going to affect anything. But just interesting, something else that we see happening in the field. Yeah, so this was, as you can see, bad patch for weeds, but it is all yellowing and dying in there. And the worst patch for cleavers were just over here, but as I am walking now, I can feel them like they're here. Look at them, they're all dying. It's made a good job as that. They're quite bad in here. Yeah, I can feel them all wrapping around my legs, but that there, see, just different colour? That's all cleavers in there, which are the like little sticky buds. You know the one, they get all the little sticky balls on them. But yeah, we've got all them out of it now. It's killed all them. Made a good job. It's nice to see when a chemical actually works, because some money goes into spraying, and when you don't see any benefit from it, it is pretty devastating for farms, especially farms this sort of size. We're trying to fight ryegrass that chemicals aren't working against. Gets brought on by contractors because we can't afford to have all his own tackle, so it comes in through balers and stuff like that, and there's nothing you can do. Like, as much as you blow down any piece of machinery, the size of the grass seeds are now like they are. Oh, it takes a gust of wind, you hit a bump and grass seeds drop off it, and one patch next year turns into twice the size, and next year it's bigger again, and it is taking some big. Like, this headland's pretty bad down here. There's a patch there which the mounds in the fields, because we're on what used to be like mine land, they're bell pits they're called, so it's sort of a bit ashy and coaly, these mounds, so it's not as good soil for the wheat to grow, so it doesn't grow as well, so it doesn't compete with the grass as much, which you can see it to the line. So there, that's where the soil changes, and the wheat hasn't been as competitive against the grass, so the grass has overtook it and it's come a lot better than the wheat has. But to be honest, the crop don't look bad, pretty even across it, pretty uniform crop. It's clean, as in there's no disease on it, so again, looks pretty good, happy with it. Again, you can see where the varieties change there, quite a different colour. But yeah, other than the grass, everything's looking great. This next field I'm going to go into now, not great, not sure why really. It went in really nice. Well, I do know why. It went in perfect, you couldn't ask for it any better. We ploughed it, combination drilled, and then it did nothing but rain after, which we hoped, like land that had been ploughed, it might get away through it, the water, but it just didn't. It don't look too bad now, but you'll see from the drone that it's not great, and we have patched it up with spring barley, so we'll go and have a look over there what that's like. So this is the wheat sort of came like this in places, so up to here we've patched in, put spring barley in, and this has absolutely motored since we last walked through this, and that's only what, 10 days ago, maybe a little bit more, and it's twice as big, so it is getting away. There's a bit of disease in there, but it's been sprayed today for fungicide, so it got sprayed last week, try and get rid of a few of the grass weeds in it and the broadleaf weeds, and we've given it a week between. You see the broadleaf weeds in there, they're all starting to die off as well. There's a bit of rape growing in there as well. Amazing. You can't grow it when you want to, but as soon as you don't want it, it's there. So yeah, sprayed for fungicide today. That should start working on all that. It's very thick. This is Skyway spring barley, it's called. We've never grown it, so we'll see how that goes. The wheat over here, again, you'll see it from the drone, it's just so thin. You can see as well where the hares have been eating it. So that there, the hares come along and just bite it off at that level, chew it a little bit, and then just leave it on the floor. So all these bits where hares have been in and chomped away at it like that. We'll walk across this through a bit of the wheat, which, like I say, over there it doesn't look too bad from this angle, but from above I'm sure it'll look a lot worse. And again, you can see a lot better here where the soil changes, and this is more of the ashy sort of coaly soil where it never grows as well. It's just not got the nutritional value that the other soil's got. Poppy in there as well. And the spring barley has all been sprayed for the grass weeds, had the fungicide, and it's also had magnesium and sulphur put onto it that it needed. You can see the weeds, they're dying, but the grass weeds, even though they're tiny, it's just not affecting them at all. And that's what I mean, you pay all this money for the chemical, and when it does nothing like that, it just really gets you thinking, why are we doing it? But you've got to do something, you can't just leave it. So like I say, we will end up roguing it, and this is not as bad in this field, but again, because it's not grown as well, the wheat, it's not competing with the grass, so it's not as thick, the wheat, so the grass easily grows. But yeah, we'll get it rogued. We can have a few days at that, wait till sun comes out maybe and get a bit of a tan. But yeah, then we're back to spring barley, which again looks fantastic, can't complain at that at all. But it'd be interesting to combine with how patched in it is. Again, you can see it from above. But yeah, really happy with how this has turned out. I do appreciate that this isn't a video with tractors in machinery, stuff like that. Not as interesting for some people, but I want to show all the sides of the farm, which isn't just playing with machinery. Farming's not just that. You've got to check your crops and look after them properly, which, yeah, there's videos of the sprayer working, but this is the other side of that, which we do these walks to see what the crop needs. We come with as agronomists and then spray it accordingly to try and get the best yield, cleanest crop we possibly can. So, well, I suppose you don't always see this side of it. So this is another field of spring barley now that we're in, and it is bad for grass. So that's barley, that leaf, and all this in the bottom is ryegrass, which again has been sprayed for. At the time I was sort of thinking, do we just spray it off and start again? Because it's that thick. The chemical don't work when it's plants, just one plant, as I just shown. So when it's as thick as this, it's really struggling. So we might, I don't know, might end up whole cropping it, make it into sort of hay, which we've done it before and the horses eat it when they're out in the winter paddocks. So we might do that, but we'll see how it goes. And I think we're going to have to look at doing something different with this field, whether we grass it, because as daft as it sounds, putting grass in a field helps solve a grass weed problem. I know it doesn't make sense, but it does. By mowing it, you cut it before it goes to seed, and then you spray the whole thing off, and then you start again, you plough it in, start again, new rotation. So we could do like a short term 2-3 year lay in here. We have put some in the other side of it, which that's the idea, because it was quite bad for grass over there, but it has just spread across the field. Like there, maybe, I don't know, they could be curling up a little bit and going a bit yellow, but it's hard to say. This was, well, what is it now? 8 days ago this got sprayed for this, and then today it's had its fungicide, which if we had a look around again in a week, which I will do, you'll probably see the difference in the leaves where it's got rid of the disease in it. And this is blackgrass. So we do have ryegrass and we have blackgrass on our farm. To be honest, I don't think blackgrass is as bad as ryegrass, but that is blackgrass there. You know the difference because that's the head of blackgrass, much smaller seeds to the ryegrass that I showed earlier. So yeah, we'll head into some winter barley, which all winter we've been sort of thinking, God, we're going to have to put spring barley in there, that looks shocking. But we've left it and left it. We've not spent any money on it. We didn't put any chemical fertiliser on it over winter. It had nothing, no pre-emergence, no growth regulators, nothing. And to be honest, don't look bad now. I'm amazed. That is King's Barn. hybrid winter barley. We'll go over there and have a look and see how it. Just before I get into that winter barley, this is the grass we've drilled. So that's where the barley starts. That's a real wet patch. There's a pond here. We do actually need, we're going to drain it into this ditch here. Try and get rid of some of this water, because that is where the spring barley is just stressed from the water, amount of rain we've had. But if you look, you see a seam there of where the grass has been drilled. Everything else here is ryegrass that's come. It's volunteer, what do you call it, volunteer? It's the ryegrass weed, it's not what we've drilled. So it just shows how bad it is and how it can just take over a farm as easy as anything. So this is a winter barley. There's ryegrass on the headlands where nothing's grown, which we can expect it. Didn't get preem, not had anything, not being sprayed for it. So we've got a 3 metre boom on the quad that we're going to put Roundup in it, come round the headlands, spray off all these patches of ryegrass, because there's no barley there anyway, so there's no point letting the ryegrass grow. So that's the plan there. We'll get some nice little videos of us doing that. But look at it. To say how bad this looked, like you'll see the drone footage from the week before, it don't look as good as it looks now. But when you look at it now, it's amazing. All this is dying off from spraying it this week. And it looks pretty good. It's not had any growth regulator, so it is huge. Like if I come stand next to it, it's up here for me. So I'll be amazed if it don't go flat, but it's pretty thick. They are huge heads. Look at the size of that. So hopefully it's not going to yield too bad, which in a year like this you can't afford to be knocking these crops up that might do alright, because if it covers what it's cost us, which interlocks, it's not had much, it's had fertiliser now, but if it covers that you cannot complain, because what a year it has been. We'll go into this next field and I'll explain what's happened in that field, which really shows how hard of a year it has been, because not the best land, quite wet, does need some drainage doing. Again, we'll try and get that done this year and clean the ditches out. But yeah, like I said, it gets pretty wet here. There's a ditch just there. Because it's so wet, none of the barley grew. A bit of compaction where drills turned on a headland and you just get the grass growing. So yeah, we'll fly up and down here with the quad and get it all sorted, sprayed off. But yeah, look, dogs are disappearing into it. Not a bad crop at all considering. I'll take it. So this field, quite a bit of spring, ryegrass coming in this spring barley. Has been sprayed for it, same as all the rest of it. It's all had the same thing pretty much. It was rape. Rape didn't grow. That bit of rape has grown, amazingly. But yeah, we put rape in. Didn't grow at all. Could not tell you why. Does anyone know why the rape doesn't grow? I don't know. Nobody does. So we tried to put beans in, which when we put them in, I thought these should do alright. Not really. This end's quite heavy land. The top is really heavy, we didn't even get beans in there. This headland was wet, it was running water down there. So the beans at this end have ended up really thin where it were heavier. The beans at that end, can't really complain. If the whole field had been like that, we'd have been winning, but we're not that lucky. So yeah, it's been rape, then beans, then patched with spring barley. And when we were doing the spring barley in it, it was a case of where do you start and where do you stop? Should we have gone all the way across here, up to there? I don't know. We were worried when we were putting the spring barley in, because we sprayed the beans with curb to get rid of the grass in it, which that's why we went down the beans route, to try and control the grass, because we'd lost rape. We didn't want to put another cereal in it because it was bad for grass. Went down the beans route, thought cheaper crop to grow, can control a bit of ryegrass in it, which it's done. So when you look at it like that, if it doesn't yield great, fingers crossed, gives us a better cereal crop next year, because it is nitrogen fixing, it hasn't cost as much to grow, and we've got the curb on. There's a bit of black grass in it, but nothing much, not to worry about, I wouldn't say. And then down this far headland again, because it was wet when it was sprayed, I think the grass just, the chemicals not got on the ryegrass, and it, like I say, it's had curb which should have sorted it. I think I'll just put the knapsack on, walk down the tram line and try and get rid of as much as I can. But yeah, once we're down this end of the field, look at the size of the beans. I mean, they're up to here on me. This is the light, nice land, which, like I say, if whole field had done this, I would have been chuffed to bits. But no, that's not farming, that would be too easy. Here you can see where it's grassy, where nothing's really come, but yeah, either get the quad or knapsack sprayer, come and sort this out. But yeah, you look from here and you think, yeah, that's a good crop. So yeah, that is a walk around the farm basically. We're not huge, we've got quite a lot of grass. We'll look into that more in a different video. And these are the crops that we're growing currently. It's the first time we've grown beans, so I don't think it's gone bad considering the year. Could have been a lot worse. So yeah, I think that's it. I've got some footage of the sprayer going. Like I say, drone of the fields as well. Have a look from above, you get a better picture of where the different soil types are, I would say, and the wetter bits, drier bits, everything like that. Oh, Rusty's just finding his way to me. Russ, come on! He's here. So yeah, like I say, that's the crops, that's what we've been up to, that's what we've been spraying for, that's why we've been spraying for it. They're the troubles we're having on our farm, which I know lots of farmers are having the same problems, but we're trying to get on top of it. And it's just you feel like you're fighting a losing battle sometimes, but what can you do? We're trying. So yeah, thanks again for watching. I know it's not tractors and machinery, not quite as interesting, but to some people it might be more interesting. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.